let you guys know that this podcast is pretty much unscripted, all raw. None of this stuff is like premeditated or anything like that. And I really wanted to begin with a subject that pretty much most of us wanted to talk about for a minute, and it's pretty much life after high school. And I pretty much want to let my good friend Andy, pretty much he's gonna be the first, for the guest of the show, and this experience real quick. Um, Andy, I just want to tell you what happened after you graduated because I haven't seen you in a good minute since you had left school. I mean,
I
not
mean,
left,
well, man.
done.
Um, well, if I may, real quick, I just want to just say thank you to y'all, boys, for allowing me to be on the podcast. It's an honor to be on for my first time. Hopefully, there's gonna be more times to come. But I mean, yeah, it's been a while. Actually, the 10-year reunion is coming up in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
A lot has happened. Uh, I say for me personally, a lot of growth has been taking place. I went to the Marine Corps for a little bit, but before I did that, I was actually went to junior college. Couldn't really afford to go out of state, so I went to the local community college.
Was it
Made some great connections there.
was it the
I'm sorry,
infamous
say again?
was it the infamous Miami-Dade?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Like I think the graduating class went out there, but I mean it was all good. I think to be honest with you, man, in hindsight, I believe that community colleges get a bad rep. They're quite affordable. The information is good, and the schooling is good as well. And then you get your associate's degree, and then you go to any university you want to with more money in your pocket. So it's a better move than going straight to a 4-year university. However, I can understand why a lot of individuals do that too, though.
No. I completely agree with you on that part on many levels. That when it comes to community college, it doesn't. I would give reputation. It's just that, the reputation wasn't like up high because I think everybody wanted to try something different. Especially when you get off, you don't want to go to school. Most people want different. That's what I believe. But in the long run, the go to Miami-Dade College, it was a really good idea to do, especially at that time.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Like I said before, I was able to make some connections, build rapport with a lot of individuals, and with that, pretty much through that, I was able to, like I said before, I made connections and got involved in the military. So just recently, actually last 2018 is when I separated from the Marine Corps. So that was a good 4 years of my life. Again, made even more connections. Picked up photography as well. And, making money with that right now.
Now, Andy, just curiosity, do you feel like you're satisfied with where you're at right now after those years of high school? I mean, after high school years?
To be honest with you, man, I feel like with the knowledge that I have now, it should have been knowledge that would have been at a younger age during the years. I mean, there was a lot that was going on. Like to me, at first, being a young kid and quote unquote an adult, graduating, you're 18, you're pretty much an adult, but having so many things not answered enough way by my parents. I felt a little bit of animosity towards my parents because I felt like they were supposed to teach me so much more. And I had older siblings as well. So I felt like you guys were supposed to teach me so much more and you didn't. You know? But what I had to realize was I had to take a step back and understand, like with my parents, me being a first generation Haitian. Oh, I'm sorry, first generation American, Haitian American. My parents' main goal was the goal, and to provide while I'm here. And then it was to figure everything else out. And they did their best. They did, and I'm very grateful for that. But it hurt at that time, and now on me with the knowledge that I now have, make sure that my children better, step forward.
Andy, you're cutting in and out. I can't hear you much. Are you there, Andy? Andy?
I'm here, man. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It's just that you're thinking in and out for a second there. Okay, I understand where you was coming at. Like, your parents did the best they can to teach you what they know so far because, you were the first one in the family pretty much graduating and going on. First, I do feel like, low key, I wish the school system taught us much better offer like, options and opportunities that's out there other than just going to Miami-Dade College because especially in high school they were pretty much pushing the idea of, hey, just go to Miami-Dade College, there's better opportunities. And don't get me wrong, there is better opportunities, but but I feel like there's more than Miami-Dade College when it was pushing that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no doubt, definitely. But I think the thing is, like, you got to understand, Clifton, that with that, right, it's all a system. Just like with the school system, they're preparing you to go into the, that's the main goal. How everything is from the desk to a like all your grade school years, and it's one of those things where it's like that's just how it is. Now, don't get me wrong, I totally agree with you. I felt like with me, by the time I got to my junior year, I still had some classes to take. So by the time I was in my junior year, I was able to get ROTC and everything like that. But I feel like with electives like that, what they should have done instead was throw in some entrepreneurial classes instead, because it's like, all right, you got all your general education for you to graduate from high school. All those are already set.
Right.
Now you could probably ROTC, not ROTC. I'm sorry. I forgot the name of it, but like something like it was a work
Can I
type
ask you
of
a question? Wait, hold on, hold on.
ROTC. Thank you.
But let me ask you a question. Okay, so basically, what I'm hearing that you feel like, you wish they, especially from your, no disrespect, but especially from your parents or anybody who's like your older brother and sister and so forth. You feel like they should have taught you about maybe free marketing or anything like entrepreneurship, right? Anybody that you was when you was growing up, like going to high school, colleges and so forth. Do you feel like that way? That's what you're trying to say?
And I mean, in a nutshell, yeah. But at the same time, they wasn't even on that. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother was the most, for lack of better terms, he was a risk taker. So he was the one that actually went out and went to Orlando to be a. He's doing that now to like engineers because of that risk that he took back then. But he was still learning it, and so it's one of those things where I kind of understand why you can't. Some people are uncomfortable teaching or like spitting knowledge when they stay in the state of learning. And so with him, he was still growing through that. My sister was um, very much to the school system. Right now, she's in administration, like an administrator at a college right now. So she's very much with that system. But now she's kind of getting the box and looking at ways to use her 9 to 5 to build a like an entrepreneur type portfolio as well. But it took us some time to get to that point. And so I'm not too mad at them because it was never presented to them, and I can't expect them to teach me something that they themselves don't know. It's
I
just
know.
the fact that
I
go
know
ahead.
I'm going to say that. Look, I know it's not a conspiracy, but I blame the system of the school where they don't teach anybody, and they still not doing that. Don't teach people to think for themselves. To hey, look, there's an opportunity out there. You could have a chance to have marketing of going for becoming like owning a property and putting up for rent, something like that, to make money without you killing yourself doing the 9 to 5 jobs. Straight up.
No, that's what I hear you. I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. Here's the thing: that's what it sounds like individuals like us who now have that knowledge to like probably intervene. And then it's like again, when it's not so much that we're knocking school. Because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This is where, because I think sometimes right now people think having it is bad, and I think the pendulum has swung a little too far to the where it's like it was first. Oh, you need to have a job. If you don't have a, you looking crazy. Now they're saying that you have a. No, here's what you got to do. Use your job. Work a job, but use the vehicle that's going to make you millions. Use your job and use the funds that you're making, get a stock. Use your job, get some real estate. You get what I'm saying? And from that point, when that vehicle builds to the point where you no longer need your job, then you can step away from your job. But it's like it's okay to have a job. the school system, I'm not knocking it at like saying, oh, school is bad. Like, nah, it is not for everybody. Can you be successful without school? Yes, you can. Many individuals are. It's just one of those things where it's nice to know other ways besides school, or or things that you could do to combine with school. You know what I'm saying? Or complement it. That would have been nice to be introduced to. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And okay, I'll go bring up relationship real quick, but let me bring up to Robin up to the table real quick right now. So Robin, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robin. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead, Clifton.
All right. So Robin, listen. Life after high school, man. Where you at from here from now? Tell me what happened after high school, because I'm gonna be honest with you, you too as well. I didn't hear from you for a good minute as well, bro. So tell me what happened after high school.
Man, after high school, dog, I'll just say, like, what happened quickly, like, at 18, well, close to 18, I got accepted to a college out of state, and, honestly, I never really told everybody the background, of me. Somebody told me that I need to, introduce myself, so I got him, name's Robin from Miami, grew up in North Miami, went to North Miami Senior High, and went to Kansas State University. So back to your question, Clifton. When I was
hold on. My bad. Told me that you're a father. What right now?
Huh?
Somebody told me that you're a father of what? How many kids you got right now, man?
Yep. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, I'm married. I got 4 kids. Well, 3, and the 4th one on the way. Yeah, so and all girls at the moment. Still trying to work to get that boy. Appreciate it. Been married for like almost 4 years now. Yeah, so that's just my quick backstory, so everybody knows who I am, and then you'll probably do the same thing, Cliff, once we get to you. But when I was 18, dog, I got accepted to Kansas State University. I thought I wasn't gonna go to. At first I was trying to stay in state, so I could still be in Florida, but I could be away from my parents, so I could learn how to be a man. And then, like, I get accepted to a school out of state, and the schools that I applied to in state, University of Florida said no, University of Central Florida said no, University of South Florida said no, and the University of Miami said no. Apparently my GPA wasn't high enough, but for some reason at 18, I was more driven than I've ever been. And I think it was because I was, for the first time in my life, I knew I was about to be in control of my life. Every kid is just waiting until they're 18. Like, man, wait till I get 18. My parents can't tell me what to do. They can finally leave me alone. But what you don't realize is at 18, that's when you need even more guidance, because you can fall into traps and stuff. So, I got denied by 4 schools. My dad was hovering over my head saying, "I told you this was gonna happen to you. You never did. You couldn't get your GPA up." But I told my dad I did the best that I could in school, and so I was like a CB, a BC type of student. I get accepted to K-State. I fall down on the ground. Still remember this like it was yesterday. My brother was like, "Whoa, what the hell happened to you, dog?" I was like, "Dog, look, nigga, I got accepted to a university, dog, and it's not gonna be here." My brother was happy, but my parents weren't happy. The first immigration Haitians in Miami, they were not happy that I was leaving them, but they knew that I had to go somewhere. So I ended up going to K-State at 18, not knowing how to cook, not knowing how to budget money. To be honest with you, we're not taught any of that in school, which is another thing. If we ever want to get into the system topic, which we probably will later on in this segment.
Wait. I just want to ask you, because I see now. I just want to mention some cool things I have seen. Now I noticed that you also have played for the Kansas State University. You was like one of the linesmen, I believe.
No, I was trying to. Play football there. I was trying to, Clifton. They didn't, I couldn't get on the team, man. It was a bunch of politics behind it. They asked me for film. I didn't know that I had to have film. Then they asked me for coaches that I can call. I don't have any of my coaches' numbers. These are all things that I didn't know. I wish somebody would have extended their hands and kind of taught me the ropes. Because when I was 18, my goal was, okay,